Hello everybody. Let us today learn about the lesson of 5th grade named Shabale. So before getting to the lesson, let me remind you some things. For example, Kalpavruksha. You might have heard the stories of Mahabharata or Ramayana. In those stories, the divine tree Kalpavruksha is referred many a times. Kalpavruksha is a tree which had a special power of giving anything one wishes to have. In the same way, there is a divine cow named Kamadhenu in Purana or Mahabharata, etc. This cow also got a special powers like Kalpavruksha. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the daughter of Kamadhenu named Shabala or Shabale. Here is a picture of Shabale is given. We could see a lot of pictures on that cow, the pictures of gods and goddesses, which means that the cow is very much divine and have special powers unlike other cows. The cow Shabale is known to be the mother of cows in Indian mythological stories. So what is a myth? A myth is one story in a mythology of stories. So mythology is a collection of stories. Examples of myths are individual stories from Ramayana, Mahabharata and Puranas. I said mythological stories. Mythology is a collection of story. Myth is one story in a mythology. Example, we say Ramayana and Mahabharata as mythological books, and we could find lot of individual stories like story of Bhishma, story of Karna. These are called myths in those epic collections. So it's a question time. Have you heard a mythical story? So please name it one by one. Let's list it out. Fine, you have listed many myths. So stories like those of Shiva, Parvati, Ganesh and other Hindu gods are said to be myths. Once again, it's a question time. What is a myth? Can you answer? So a myth is a traditional and imaginary story of heroes such as gods and goddesses. So in this case, a cow called Shabale. Myths are mostly religious stories. There is no real proof that events in myths have actually taken place. You might have heard a myth from your parents or grandparents. Grandparents usually tell a lot of religious stories to their grandchildren. There is no proof or guarantee that the stories are true or happened. Such stories are considered as myths. So let's move on to the lesson Shabale. So here is a picture of mythological character Shabale is given. We could see many special features which we don't see in a normal cow. That may be the vision of artist as well. So let's read the lesson. Once there was a sage whose name was Vasishtha. He lived in a forest. Vasishtha had a cow by the name of Shabale, also known as Nandini, daughter of Kamadhenu, the heavenly cow. Here is a new word in this lesson which is mentioned in red color, that is sage, which means a learned man. So the word sage means a learned man. Whenever Vasishtha asked for anything such as food, drink or clothes, she would give them to him. She means here Shabale. Both of them lived happily in the forest. One day, Kaushika, a powerful king, and his soldiers came to the forest. They were hunting. They saw a small hut and decided to rest there for some time. So, in this paragraph, there is a new word which marked in red color, that is powerful. So, powerful means having great power or influence over people one rules. Powerful means one who possesses powers. Kings used to have a lot of powers in those days. We refer such people as powerful ones. So when they came near the hut, Vasishtha greeted Kaushika and his men. He prayed to Shabale to give his guests a tasty meal. In minutes, Shabale gave them a tasty meal. Kaushika was impressed by Shabale's special gift. So in this paragraph, there again one new word is given, that is impressed, which marked in red color. Impressed means really liked, most happy with. Impressed means really liked or most happy with. When we really like something or some person, we usually say that I am impressed by that or by that person. So Kaushika wanted to take Shabale to his place. So Kaushika asked Vasishtha to give Shabale to him in exchange for 10,000 cows. So here the king asked Vasishtha to give Shabale in exchange to 10,000 cows. But Vasishtha refused. Kaushika even offered his entire kingdom and asked for Shabale. But Vasishtha still refused. He said, Shabale belongs to the gods and goddesses and should not be misused. Again, in this paragraph, there are two new words, that is, refused and goddesses. Refuse means did not agree to do or did not agree to take. Goddesses means female gods. So you know that God, for example, Ishwar is God and Parvati is goddesses. Goddesses is the other gender form of God. Kaushika decided to take Shabale by force. He put a rope around Shabale's neck and dragged her, but she was not willing to go with the king. So as you know, Kaushika is a king and he has a lot of powers. So he decided to take Shabale by force. So here again there are two new words, that is dragged and willing. Drag means to pull by force, and willing means wanting to do. Not willing means not wanting to do. Shabale saw her master's helplessness. She decided to teach Kaushika a lesson. She freed herself, ran and stood next to Vasishtha. She underwent an amazing change. So again there is a two new words, helplessness and underwent. So Shabale saw the helplessness. Helplessness means not being able to help. Vasishtha was helpless because Kaushika was a king. So Shabale herself underwent means went through, underwent an amazing change. So what is that change? So fire gushed out of her eyes, her head and neck grew larger, balls of fire came out from her tail, many soldiers came from her mouth, udder and her sides. The amazing change is described here. Gushed means came out of, is a new word. Gushed, which means came out of. And udder, it's the body part of the female cow that gives milk. The part of the female cow that gives milk is called as udder. These soldiers chased Kaushika and his men out of the ashram, but they did not kill anyone. Kaushika realized that he was not powerful enough and could not win anything by force. He left his kingdom and went into the forest to become a sage. So the soldiers who came from the body of Shabale chased Kaushika and his men out of the ashram. So here again two words, chased, went after or sent away. Chased means went after and sent away. Realized means got to know or understand. Kaushika realized, which means he understood. After many years of prayer and meditation, he became a true sage and came to be called Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra means the friend of the world. So after exiling from forest, Kaushika then decided to become a sage. So he went to forest and did lot of meditation there. Then he became a sage. His name was then Vishwamitra. Meditation means the act of quiet prayer with deep concentration. So quiet, silent prayer with deep concentration is called meditation. So that was the story of Shabale, and now it's a time to recall the story in your own words. Now one by one you have to retell the story of Shabala. Are you ready? Okay, now it's a question. Is this story a myth? So you have already know what is myth. Now tell me, is this story a myth? Okay, now think, what parts of the story did you find hard to believe and thought could not really have happened? So as you know, myths have lot of parts in the story that which we cannot believe that it has happened. So for example, I think the soldiers coming out of the body of a cow is really hard to believe nowadays. So like that you have to list it out. Are you ready? Okay, let's move on to the very interesting part of this lesson, that is grammar section. In the grammar section we are going to look at syllables. What are syllables? So syllables are the utterance at one breath, or the sound you pronounce in one breath is called syllable. So all words have syllables. A word may have 1, 2, 3 or more syllables. For example, the word reading has 2 syllables, that is read and ing. Reading, read, ing, reading. The word red has 1 syllable, that is read. The word purple has 2 syllables, that is purple. Purple, purple. 2 syllables. Now I will read these words again. You have to clap in between the syllables. Ready? Okay. Reading, reading, red, purple. Fine. So why we learn syllables? Syllables help to break a word into smaller parts so that we could read easily. We read each small part to read the whole word. For example, Shabale. It has 3 parts Shabale. Shabale. So it is a three-syllabled word. So let us look at some basic rules to breaking up words into syllables. So there are some rules are there to break a word into syllables. We put a slash to show the break in the word. For example, in the word soldier, we put a slash soon after sol, soldier, that is two syllables, soldier. So the first rule is we divide the word between two middle consonants. So we put slash between the middle consonants. For example, in the word purple, purple. So r and p are the two consonants, middle consonants, and we put a slash in between them. That is purple. Second one, wisdom, wisdom, wisdom. Learning, 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 learning. Complete, 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 complete. So second rule is divide off at any prefix. So you know what is prefix? The letters we add at the beginning of a word and form a new word, that is called as prefix. So examples are given. Let's try to read it. So examples of prefix: return, 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 return. Disagree, 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 disagree. Unwind, unwind. Reduce, 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 reduce. Exhale, 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 exhale. So third rule is divide off any compound word. So compound word, what is compound word? It is a word formed by two or more smaller words. Two or more smaller words of different meaning come together and give another meaning, that is called compound word. For example, net is a word, work is another word, and together network gives a different meaning, that is called compound word. So we break the compound words. Network, network. Sometime, sometime. Inside, inside. Outlaw, outlaw. Outside, outside. So now let's practice syllables. It's a practicing time. Now you try clap your hands for each syllable for these words from the story. So here 10 words are given. I will read it. You have to clap your hands soon after each syllable. Are you ready? Okay, first one. Vasista. Shabale. Decided. Lesson. Happily. Hunting. Tasty. Kaushika. Meditation. Concentration. Okay, now let's check. So Vasista, 3 claps. Vasista. Shabale, Shabale, 3 claps. Decided, 3 claps. That is 3 syllables are there. Decided. Lesson, 2 claps. Happily, happily. Hunting, one clap actually. Hunting. Tasty, tasty. Kaushika, Kaushika. Meditation, four claps. Concentration, four claps. Hunting, two claps. Hunting. Tasty, two claps. Kaushika, three claps. Meditation, four claps. Concentration, four claps. So now another activity is, that is, you have to divide these words. 14 words are given into syllables. Are you ready, children? Let's try out, then we'll check the answer. Okay, this is for your homework. Let's try to read it. For example, sage, powerful, impressed, refused, goddesses, dragged, willing, helplessness, underwent, gushed, udder, chased, realized, meditation. Now let's check the answers here. Sage, it's a monosyllabic word, that is, there is only one syllable, that's sage. You have to utter this sage in one breath. Second one, powerful, powerful, that is three syllables. Impressed, impressed, two syllables. Refused, refused, two syllables. Goddesses, so here there are three syllables. Dragged, so it's a monosyllabic word. The word is little longer, but still it is monosyllabic. Dragged, you can pronounce it in one breath. Seventh word is willing, willing, that is two syllables. Helplessness, helplessness, three syllables. Underwent, underwent, that is three syllables. And the 10th word again, gust. It is a monosyllabic word, that is, there are only one syllable is there. Udder, two syllables. Chased, it's also monosyllabic. Chased. Realized, realized, it's three syllables. See, realized. Meditation, meditation, it's a four syllable word. So with this we conclude the first lesson. Thank you.